One of the big things that we do in instrumental music is a lot of chamber music, and some of these kids come with experience in ensembles like band and orchestra where there's a conductor that tells them everything that they're supposed to do. But in chamber music there's one person on a part, so everybody is really attached to and responsible for their portion of the music, but then they have to communicate within the group. There's no conductor in there to tell them what to do. They have to make those decisions for themselves. And so it's really great for them to get that experience and to work with other people from other places that have other ideas and really learn about that process.
In terms of my instrument, it has completely changed the way I play. Technique-wise, just little tricks and like new methods of doing things, and the teachers completely take you out of your comfort zone and make you try new things.
Well, I guess the first thing I should say is I love the staff here, especially Dr. Bird. He's really helped me out with playing, and the level of all the faculty here, they've been so helpful. They've been very professional and have been really supportive. And so it's better than back home in terms of school because it's a lot more individual attention, and I can definitely tell it's helping play.
I know that many of the students who have come to GSA have been studying at their same studio for many years. So we hope that we can bring them a new experience by working with new faculty. The biggest thing we want for our students is to be willing to take a risk and try something new, to move out of their comfort zone, because that's the only way that they can grow as dancers. The next step we really want to see is that they move bigger. You know, I think when they perform, they can move in a bigger way, but they don't necessarily take that in the classroom. And that's where it needs to happen and start, in the classroom, taking every exercise and learning to move beyond their comfort zone. And so we really push them to really travel through space, to really reach further, to really pull further, to yield and relax into the floor. How can you move bigger? How can you make this movement better? You can't be satisfied with just doing it. You have to perform it.
First of all, they're always expecting you to do your best and to live every moment as if it's the most important in your life at that time. So that kind of changed my perspective on maybe my feet are hurting, maybe I feel like I'm super tired, but if I think about how that moment is the most important in my life thus far, then I am pushing myself. I am not wasting rehearsal time. I'm making the most of it.
They want you to be the best you can be, and they want you to persevere through all the hard things that we go through. I mean, your body hurts, you're mentally tired, you're physically tired, but you can push through it and become something better than you are already.
So we work with the students in a couple of different ways. We ask them to think about the built environment in a really different way than they're used to. We ask them to think about things like sensation and perception and what space really starts to mean to them, not just what finishes and what materials are being used, the difference between a big building like a library or a courthouse and what a neighborhood is, but actually the small nuances of space and scale between and within those sorts of things.
Well, what I really like is that when I came here to our first day of class, you know, all of us are a little bit nervous. We're not knowing really what's going to go down, or, you know, how our teachers are going to teach something like architecture. But they create a nice balance between teaching us, you know, how to use scale rulers and how to use T-squares, and, you know, how the technical skills balanced with, you know, the more conceptual ways of thinking, which are really important.
GSA is really focused on more of the art aspect of architecture, not so much the different styles as how a certain building will make you feel. It's what kind of feeling do you get when you walk into a room, what kind of a person would like a certain kind of a house. And I really had never thought about that kind of stuff before. I've always just, seen, oh, it's a colonial house or it's a Tudor house. And this has taught me much more about in-depth concepts in architecture. There's so many different avenues to go down in architecture and so many different job possibilities. And I've just really learned what I can be. And it's just been a great experience.
This program's offered me a lot to improve my acting. Well, not only just to improve my acting, but to just improve, I guess, my skills and my perception as an artist, and then just as a person overall. I've only been acting for not even a year now, and I've just learned so much from being here. We started off with the basics, the fundamentals, and then we got into Shakespeare and scene work, and now today we're doing monologues, and it's just, I've learned so much in 3 weeks than I've ever learned in my year, or my less than a year of acting.
I think it's helpful to be around people that are really passionate about what they want to do, and I think it helps that everyone does care and everyone works towards making a better product. When we see other people push their boundaries as well, we feel compelled to push our boundaries. Because everyone's being pushed, it feels more natural to want to go farther than you usually do.
Well, they're going to gain a lot of experience in new materials and new practices, different processes they're going to work with. They do learn a lot of community bonding, really, working together. They bond in the way that they really do these amazing amount of objects and sculptures and projects and paintings and prints in such a short period of time that I think that's what really connects them for life. So that would be, that would be a few things that they really gain from this program. Again, sort of just that work ethic becomes really important, and we kind of give them a glimpse into what college is going to be like, how you're going to be a successful student in college. That idea of not doing just minimum effort, but really pushing it in a very short, intense amount of time.
It's just been so fun. I learned so much. Just the energy. I get more inspired to work harder. Because I'm surrounded by other artists. That keep that push me.
I really love it here. I love my instructors. I love the people. It's really a great opportunity for me to learn, not just about visual art, but about my personality, to grow as a person, and I feel like I've really changed, and it's helped me a lot. I think one of the biggest things that GSA has taught me is just to be myself and to just enjoy it. It's not about the outcome, it's not about having a masterpiece, because every piece is not going to be a masterpiece. You have to learn from your failures and just embrace it. Art is not just about making beautiful things, it's about living it. You have to live a beautiful life to make beautiful art.
Everything that we do here becomes the backbone for setting them up for success in the studio. We make every effort for them to have a positive living experience so that when they are in studio time, they can perform at their best and create the best in their art form.
Well, obviously GSA is only a 3-week program, so it's really hard for us to build community in such a short amount of time. We want the kids to bond with each other as well as to what they're doing in their art form. So we have a number of things that we do just to build community really fast. We put them into RA groups of 10 to 12 students, so they get to know 10 to 12 students extremely well with one RA. And then we do exercises. We have a community building exercise, which is all about figuring out who you are and realizing that even though there are people in the circle in your RA group that are different from you, there are more similarities in your stories than you realize. So that's always a very rewarding time, a very rewarding day. And I think it really helps them in studio figure out what their individual voice is, which is maybe something they've never even thought about before.
With residential life, we really try to just encourage them to spend time getting to know one another and learning from the other students are here because every one of them brings something so valuable to offer to this program. And it's amazing to see that change by just being around people that are so different from what these students are used to.
A very big part of this is learning how to work with other people and your equipment. Like you said, we all came here and we're familiar with our cameras and the processes, but it's the application that really gets, you know, we really get into applying those skills to, you know, real life situations. They say, here, take this camera and go shoot pictures of these people you don't know. You learn a lot about how to deal with people and how to collaborate with other people in your work. Definitely that, and like I said before, knowing how to plan out a large project is going to take me a long way.
I wanted to come here because I've always been into photos, and I've just recently gotten more into video, and so I knew that if I came here that I'd be able to work with people who've been doing this like longer than I've been alive, you know. So I felt like it'd be a really excellent chance for me to like not only grow in what I'm used to doing, but stuff that I'm not used to doing. And so far it's been just like that and so much more. Like I've learned so much more than I could at home, and it's just awesome to be here.
I think I want them to understand the hard work of writing, that it is not just sitting down and only just writing what's in your head, but that writing is a process. Of course, that's part of it. You know, you write down your thoughts, you write down your ideas and all the characters and worlds that you have in your head, but to not hide behind language, but to use language to enhance and to tell a real story, whether it's their personal story or a story they pull from their imagination. But I see them using the world around them even more to enhance their imaginations.
Well, I'm not sure what I expected from GSA because I haven't really had much support with writing, and I wasn't exactly sure what you would do like for writing at a camp, but it has met expectations that I didn't know it would meet. It taught me what I needed for surviving in the art world, that I need confidence in my work, and it really so far has taught me what art is, because I found out I didn't really know what it was. It's like a community.
From the school I come from, you know, we have very few writers, you know, outside of the our English classes, so it's so neat to hear everyone's stories and voices. Like, everyone here has their distinct voice. Every author and writer that has come in has their distinct voice, and for me that's such a cool thing, because I live in a small town, and you know, it's not like this big community of various cultures, and you know, we have people from all over the place, people from every different race and background, and for me that's just something that I can use in my writing.
Well, it's been very inspirational to me. I've really, especially when it comes to the acting part of it, because the instructors here really help you to get truly connected to the character that you're playing, especially within your monologue. I've really learned from this experience is when I'm doing my monologue, our acting coach actually gets in front of us and like speaks to us while we're saying our monologue, and she really gets us to feel the deep emotion within ourselves while we're saying our monologue. I mean, at the end of my monologue, after she did it with me for the first time, I cried. Like, I really like felt the deep emotion.
And I think the coolest thing about like the program that we have, and just like the company of the 23 of us, like, you expect going into musical theater that everyone's going to be really competitive and really like, I'm the best, but like, I have not experienced one bit of negativity while I'm here. Everyone is very supportive, and it's all about, you know, how we can push each other to grow, but also like to grow ourselves and to appreciate ourselves as artists, but also everyone else. And that's something that you don't really get to experience, I think, all the time.
Right.
Outside of GSA. And so I think part of it is we're getting to learn how to build that kind of community and then take that out into the world around us.
We hope that our students gain from this summer's experience the ability to grow and realize that each student has the potential for growth. I think all of our teachers really work diligently on the foundation of breathing and posture, and we feel that if we establish that here, then when they go back home, they will have that foundation and they'll be able to keep that. We also try to make certain that they have a number of selections actually, so that when they go back, if they don't have an instructor at home, then they've got music for any future auditions that are coming up. So we want to make certain that when they leave here, they leave as well equipped as possible to be successful in future college auditions.
The choir here is more focused because we have a larger choir,
and with only 28 people, he's allowed to focus on one part more, because I've never had voice lessons before. So coming and getting voice lessons and music theory classes has overall just greatly increased my range. I can now go 2 notes above the staff that I used to not be able to, and a note below that I wasn't able to before.
To my voice, we do individual lessons, and my teacher, Marcano, he's definitely been helping me on just learning new skills to help me just improve my voice, my vocal range, just general skills that will help me in the long run. Yeah, we got an opera piece that's very difficult, and another piece by Bach, I think, that's really difficult, and it definitely stretches just the level and your focus that you have to do. And it makes you listen to everyone else. It forces you to get out of your own section bubble, and it's really cool just to work with that. And the pieces are definitely more difficult here.